There is one small island on this planet, so small that most people cannot even point it out on a world map. Barely the size of Belgium, yet this tiny island carries enough power to drag the entire world into World War III. Its name is Taiwan. To China, Taiwan is unfinished history. To the United States, it is a red line. To the global economy, it's the heart that keeps modern technology alive. And today, we're going to understand why this island has become the most dangerous place on earth. Stay till the end because the final minutes will completely change how you see global peace. Taiwan is not just land, it is not just politics, it is not just ideology. Taiwan is technology. Inside the island lies the backbone of the modern world, the semiconductor industry. Over 90% of the world's most advanced chips and nearly two-thirds of global chip manufacturing comes from one place, Taiwan. At the center of this system stands TSMC, the most important company you have probably never thought about. Every smartphone, every AI model, every electric vehicle, every fighter jet, every missile guidance system, all of them depend on Taiwanese chips. If Taiwan shuts down for even a few weeks, global factories stop, stock markets crash, supply chains collapse. If Taiwan falls completely, the world economy enters freefall. This is why Taiwan matters. Now, let us understand why China wants Taiwan so badly. For China, Taiwan is not just strategic, it is emotional. The Chinese Communist Party believes that Taiwan is the last missing piece of China's national revival. In their narrative, China was humiliated for centuries by foreign powers, and reunifying Taiwan is proof that China is finally strong again. But but emotion alone does not drive superpowers. Taiwan sits at the edge of what military experts call the fast island chain, a natural barrier that limits China's navy from freely entering the Pacific Ocean. Whoever controls Taiwan controls the doorway to the Pacific, and whoever controls the Pacific controls global trade and military movement. There is also a third reason, the most dangerous one. If China controls Taiwan, China controls the global semiconductor industry. That means military superiority, economic leverage, technological dominance, political influence over the entire world. That is why China openly says it prefers peaceful reunification, but it will use force if necessary. Now, let us look at the other side. Why would the United States risk war with China over a distant island? Because Taiwan is the keystone of America's global power. If China captures Taiwan, China becomes the world's strongest tech power overnight. The US led global order collapses. Taiwan also allows America to contain China within the Pacific. Lose Taiwan, and the entire Indo Pacific balance collapses. And then there is trust. If America abandons Taiwan, countries like Japan, South Korea, and the Philippines will stop believing in US protection. America's alliance system, the foundation of its superpower status, falls apart. This is why the US supplies Taiwan with weapons, missile defense systems, intelligence support, cybersecurity assistance, and unofficially military training. America may not say it clearly, but everyone understands the message. The United States will not allow Taiwan to fall easily. So, what would a war actually look like? China has multiple options. The first is what we are already seeing: gray zone warfare, cyber attacks, military aircraft entering Taiwan's airspace, economic pressure, disinformation campaigns, political interference. The goal is simple: break Taiwan from the inside before a war even begins. The second option is naval blockade. China surrounds Taiwan with warships and submarines. Food stops, fuel stops, trade stops. Within weeks, Taiwan's economy begins to suffocate. But a blockade is an act of war, and the US Navy would respond immediately. The third option is a shock attack. Thousands of missiles launched simultaneously, airports destroyed, power grids knocked out, radar systems blinded. Taiwan goes dark within minutes, but this guarantees direct American military intervention. The final option is the most dangerous: a full scale amphibious invasion. Over a million soldiers, aircraft carriers, drones, rockets, amphibious landing ships, the largest military operation since World War II. But Taiwan is not defenseless. It has advanced missiles, anti-ship weapons, mountains terrain, civil resistance planning, and real-time intelligence support. Such a war would be long, brutal, and unpredictable. Victory is not guaranteed for anyone. If war breaks out, it will not remain local. It becomes China versus the United States, Japan, and Australia, with support from Europe and regional allies. The consequences would be global. Semiconductor supply collapses, oil prices explode, markets crash worldwide, internet infrastructure faces cyber warfare, millions of refugees flee, nuclear escalation becomes a real risk. This is not just a regional conflict. This is a global economic catastrophe. According to estimates, a Taiwan war would cost the world over $10 trillion, more than 2008 financial crisis, and more than the COVID pandemic combined. And here is the journey. And here is the irony. China would suffer massively too. Trade collapses, energy imports stop, foreign investment disappears, manufacturing supply chains break. A Taiwan war destroys winner and losers alike. So, will China really invade? China wants Taiwan. The US wants to stop China. Taiwan wants freedom. The world wants peace. China knows the risk, the cost, the global backlash. War is possible, but war is not inevitable. Taiwan is dangerous because it sits at the intersection of military power, economic power, technological power, and political legitimacy. Will it trigger World War III? No one can say. But one thing is certain. The future of global peace for the next 20 years depends on what happens on this tiny island.